Welcome to the Explainer. So, you're ready to really level up your cloud dev game, huh? You've come to the right spot. Today, we are embarking on a quest to conquer the AWS Certified Developer Certification, the DVA-C02. Think of this as your personal guide to victory.
So, are you a builder at heart? Someone who just loves taking an idea and turning it into actual code that does stuff in the real world? Yeah? Then this one is definitely for you. And look, we're not just talking about passing some multiple choice test. No way. We're talking about making a serious investment in your career.
All right, every good quest needs a map, right? Well, here's ours. First, we'll cover why this journey is even worth taking. Then we'll scout out the exam itself. After that, I'll give you a solid 6-week training plan. We'll talk strategy, costs, and the payoff. And finally, we'll explore how you can use all these new skills to totally supercharge your career.
Okay, let's get right into it. What exactly is this certification, and why should it be your next big professional goal? Let's go ahead and define the challenge. So, let's be super clear. This is not about memorizing a bunch of random trivia. Nope. The DVA-C02 is for builders. It's all about validating that you can write real, honest-to-goodness, production-ready code for the cloud. It proves you know how to connect the dots, linking services like Lambda, API Gateway, and DynamoDB to build those slick, modern, serverless apps. Bottom line, it proves you're ready to ship code.
All right, so every quest needs a strategy, right? And for us, that's the exam blueprint. We've got to know what we're up against. So let's break down the structure, because understanding the terrain is always the first step to conquering it.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. You've got 130 minutes to tackle 65 questions. But here's the inside scoop, and this is important. Only 50 of those questions actually count towards your score. The other 15, they're basically experimental questions that AWS is testing out. So if you hit a really weird question that seems to come out of left field, don't panic. It might not even be scored. Your target, your magic number, is 720 out of 1,000. That's the goal.
Now this chart, this is your strategic guide, right here. Just look at this. Development and security together, that's a whopping 58% of the entire exam. That tells you everything you need to know about what AWS thinks is important for a developer. It's all about your ability to write code that actually hooks into their services and, crucially, your ability to do it securely. So, guess where you're going to be spending most of your time for the next few weeks? Yep, right there. The key to pass in this thing is focus. And this slide, it's basically your cheat sheet for what to focus on. Your goal is not to know a little bit about everything AWS offers. That's impossible. Your goal is to get really good with the services on the left. Think of them as the daily toolkit for an AWS developer. And the services on the right? For the purposes of this exam, you can safely, completely ignore them. Don't waste a single minute on them.
Okay, we've mapped the terrain. We know what we're up against. Now it's time for the training montage. Cue the 80s music. Seriously though. Here's a proven 6-week plan that perfectly balances the book smarts with actual hands-on labs. The whole idea is to get you exam ready without, completely burning out.
So this plan is all about building your knowledge logically, one step at a time. See how each week builds on the one before it? We start with the fundamentals, then we jump into serverless, and then we start layering on the really important stuff like security and automation. The last couple of weeks, it's all about practice, 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 and review. Look, it's going to be an intense sprint for sure, but it's a smart one that's designed to build that crucial muscle memory. Because let's be honest, reading is one thing, but to make this knowledge actually stick, you have to get your hands dirty. You have to build stuff. These 3 projects here, they're not just random practice assignments. Oh no, they map directly to the core domains of the exam. If you can build these 3 things, you'll have the hands-on experience and, just as importantly, the confidence to crush those tricky scenario-based questions on the test. All right, you've got the map, you've got the training plan, now let's talk tactics for the big day itself. We'll cover the cost of this whole quest and, of course, the best part, the treasure you'll get at the end. On exam day, your strategy is just as important as what you know. And maybe the most important tip I can give you is this: learn to decode the questions. Seriously. AWS exams are full of patterns, so if you see a question that mentions something like decoupling services or handling spikes in traffic, your brain should just scream SQS. It's about recognizing those keywords. And hey, if you're ever in doubt, always default to the answer that sounds like the best practice for security, cost optimization, and scalability. Those are the pillars of AWS, and they're your best guide. So what's all this going to set you back? Well, it's actually surprisingly affordable. The exam itself is $150.
Let's say you add in a month of AWS Skill Builder so you can do all the hands-on labs, you're looking at around $180 total. I mean, when you think about the potential career boost we're about to talk about, this is easily one of the highest value investments you can possibly make in yourself.
And now for the reward, the treasure at the end of the quest. And believe me, it is so much more than just a fancy digital badge for your LinkedIn profile. Let's talk about the hard numbers, what this certification can actually do for your career.
63%. Just let that sink in for a second. That's the percentage of certified pros who either got a promotion or are expecting one soon. I mean, that is a huge boost to your career momentum right there.
And then there's this number, 32%. This is the one that really gets people's attention. Almost a third of certified folks report getting a salary bump after they pass. I mean, the math here is pretty simple, right? This certification pays for itself fast, and usually many times over.
But see, passing the exam, that's really just the beginning. The real power comes from taking this new credential and translating it into actual career momentum. It's time to leverage what you've earned.
And this is how you make yourself stand out from the crowd. On your resume, don't just write AWS Certified. Anybody can do that. You need to quantify your impact. Put something like this down, a statement that shows you actually did something with your knowledge, like reducing Lambda costs by 40% by right-sizing and tuning concurrency. That proves you're not just a book-smart theorist. It proves you know how to use these tools to save your company actual money. And that, my friends, is value.
So there you have it, the whole package. You've got the map, you've got the training plan, the strategies, and a clear picture of the rewards. Your path to becoming an AWS Certified Developer is laid out right in front of you. Really, the only question left is the most exciting one of all. What are you going to build first?